Welcome back to MFO, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We got a good one today, a good topic. A buddy of mine called me today. The day that I'm shooting this is June 12th, and it's a full moon right now. And he called me, said that he was walking around his little pond, and oh my gosh, the big bass, big female bass are all up shallow. Well, full moon is going on. It's the second full moon. It's June 12th. So this is probably the second wave, maybe even the third wave of bass that have come up to spawn in his pond. But the interesting thing is that he's seeing this pond as kind of a microcosm for what we see on the big lakes. We're going to talk about some things that he noticed and how that applies to us when we're talking about the bass spawn. Stick around, guys. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher. So think about this pond that my buddy is observing, and he's got the ability to kind of go for a walk and walk around that pond almost every day in the springtime. And so about a month ago, when it was a full moon, he walked around and said, "Oh, I'm seeing some big fish up on beds, seeing them cruising the banks and things like that." But what he noticed was, a day or two later, boom, they were gone, okay? And he thought, wow, that was amazing. All the fish in my pond pretty much spawned on the first moon, and they were gone. It's over. Spawn's over. Well, a month goes by, and just the other day, he's walking around the pond, and he's starting to see these big females cruising around again. And he goes out fishing today and called me, and he's like, he caught a 6-pounder out there. He's seeing some other ones. And my prediction to him is they're going to be there for about 3 days, buddy, and they're going to disappear again. What he's seeing on his pond, like I said, is kind of a microcosm of what we see. The female bass, when she moves up onto the bed, she is really only there for about 24 to 48, maybe a little bit more than that, hours. I mean, she goes up on the bed, connects with the male, they do their thing. She hangs around that bed for a very, very short period of time, a day or two, maybe 3, and moves on. Now, when I say moves on, she doesn't necessarily just go right into deep water. She may work down the bank and go to another male's bed and hang out there for a couple of days, lay some more eggs, do the thing, and move on. That's nature's way. What that female bass is doing instinctually is laying eggs in several different places in order to ensure against the destruction of all of her offspring if, one bed gets raided by a predator or another bed gets damaged by a boat or a human or something like that, or another bed gets disturbed and the male bass gets taken off and can't guard the fry and they all get eaten. So by going to several different beds, she's ensuring that her offspring have a better chance than if all of her eggs were laid in one bed. But the point being that they're coming up, they're there, and again, it's a very short window. We think because we see the spawn starting and we're seeing big females up shallow for a month, and we're thinking, holy cow, they're up here. They're going to be up here for a while. This thing is going on. In a pond, you can really get the idea and the real sense of what's going on. They're up, day or two, you walk by 3 days later, and where'd they all go? They're gone. They aren't here anymore. And that's because in that smaller situation, there's fewer females, and they're gonna do their thing. They're gonna get up there, and they're gonna go back to what they do in the summertime. So I think it's just a very interesting perspective, and one that we have to keep in mind when we are fishing bigger lakes about just how quick it is that those big females are available during the spawn. And yes, there are males that are up there much longer because they start by being up there to make the bed, then they have to entice the female onto the bed, then they have to go through the spawning process, then they have to guard the eggs, then they have to guard the fry. So they're up shallow much longer. But as the bigger females go, they are truly up on bed for a much, much shorter period of time. So, I think that's something just to keep in mind as we're going through this. June 13th, second wave of the spawn. Do you think there'll be another one in July? Not here in this area, I don't think so. If you're moving up kind of to Wisconsin, there might be one. But I think we're pretty much second to third wave and probably done. But very interesting observation that my buddy made. I appreciate that information and that phone conversation that we had, and I hope you did too. Guys, don't forget, our virtual tournament the registration is open, so email me at markfisheroutdoors.com. Email me if you want to get in. The $20 entry fee and all the information is available if you want to go back to the video that we did last Friday on Come and Fish, the Mark Fisher Outdoors Virtual Bass Fishing Tournament. Go check it out if you want. We hope to see you. Remember, it starts July 1st. So guys, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again tomorrow for another episode of Mark Fisher Outdoors. Take care, everybody.